Mostly whites?
Mostly whites, a couple of red ones.
We left. We should probably.
Yeah.
Do I get to take a few?
Yeah, you can take a few. A lot of them, the
Don't
bigger
take
ones.
any with dirt on.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't take any with the holes in them either because they were all over. Because we hilled them, and where the hills were is where most of the potatoes came. They weren't down in the ground. And so, yeah, so it's amazing how hard these potatoes are, but how easily that black pitchfork poked them. Oh, here, one more. Sorry.
Hey, doggy. How you doing? Pretty doggy.
Thing that you need to put on there is a shoe that's not attached. Fits inside that little hole.
There, over here. See, he knows where the mouse. See that? He knows where the mice are underneath that bush over there. He knows it. No, you can't dig. No digging.
Yeah, go. If you want to dig, dog, go dig up the potatoes.
I know they're there.
Oh, my cat loves mice. It doesn't eat them. I washed it. The cat had one in its neck and just basically choked it to death.
Apparently this dog chases them.
Yeah, some dog. My dog don't chase
Yeah, he
them.
knows right
My
where the
cat,
mouse,
though?
the mouse family is right under there.
Yeah.
Better mice than rats.
He met his first rabbit the other day, and I thought he was never going to stop.
That's what I was saying earlier.
That's one thing with the squirrels. He loves squirrels to death. He'll jump out the car door window for a squirrel. But when he saw that bunny rabbit, oh boy, I thought he was going to tear my arm right off my shoulder. I swear to God, it's horrible. I can't let you have those because you'll start digging, buddy. All right, I got one for you, Marv. Wait. We don't dig. No digging.
Where you going?
Los. Good. Thank you. We're getting rid of all those guys. I just heard.
Did you ask Eric?
Oh yeah, Eric didn't know. Eric didn't know, so we waited for Barbaria to come. Barbaria! Barbaria. So, Oscar, how you like our idea? Grow stand-up crops in there and grow our potatoes in those. Those blue, they're perfect for potatoes.
If you grow the potatoes in that,
Absolutely
when they're
perfect.
ready to be picked, all you do is turn
It's
it
just
over
absolutely
and the
perfect.
potatoes fall out.
And you get to keep all the soil.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm willing to try it. I've tried it.
I've done it, sir.
I have
I've done it
four-
with
I have
potatoes,
I tried
carrots.
it and it didn't come out.
I got 4 of them at my house.
You just can't overplan them. If
no,
you do
we only
the,
had like 1 or 2 potatoes in it.
that didn't work for you.
I cut my potato into 4 pieces, and I have 4 thriving of those, red, white, and 2 russets. Russet and a sweet potato.
Hey, Pop. Not
No
all the
digging.
potatoes. No,
Did he
it's
try
not
to
some-
dig?
No. He's not. Don't pee on the tomatoes.
although it will not hurt them. It will not hurt them at all. That's what we think about doggies.
Actually, the basala will probably go in there. Come to think of it, now that we've got 2 basala plants.
Oh, you do have some bacilla?
Yeah, Laurie sent me a text saying that 2 of the seeds I gave her sprouted. So
No, it would be good to grow
and
in.
that's going to take up that entire bed. the
No, it would be
basala.
good
I
to
think
grow
I
in
have
2
one.
of those instead of potatoes. Grow like the purple and white carrots, like the exotic carrots that are different colors, and they have different flavonoids in them too. I
Right,
know,
right.
nutrition-wise, but That could be a thought. Get a couple
you
packs
know-
of mixed seed.
No, I'd rather keep the basala back because it grows so big.
Okay.
So the basala will probably grow well there because it used to be here. So, but I'm thinking, see, we're going to plant flowers over there to catch the eye. But in between the flowers, we can plant the carrots.
That's true. You plant carrots anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, because,
So I used to plant them with the tomatoes.
but we need to.
We had a really nice collection of carrots, like variegated.
You got
seed,
out here with
golden,
the rest
yellow,
of
purple carrots.
Finally.
I don't know what happened to them.
Yes.
I donated them to the garden.
Usually just
sources.
take pictures
Right.
when
Same
there's
thing with
nobody
beets,
around.
like purple.
Right,
No,
No,
because
I did the drumming circle
I had,
last year. We did the
a
children's
series of
festival
beets,
for
a
peace
series of carrots,
yesterday.
a series of peppers, and a series of something else. I'm not sure whether
Joe.
they were beets or what, but they were all variegated.
The reason I was.
But yeah, we're gonna go and we should probably plant flowers in that bed.
The one
And-
with the barley malt.
Yeah, and put the carrots in there because that's one of our older beds.
Which one?
Where the barley is,
Where's the barley?
that
Right.
open area. Yeah.
This strip here.
So, Sonia Monson's got some flowers, and if we go and intersperse the flowers, because this is a one-way street, it'll catch the colors will catch, and because we're so green right now, the only color we have is the marigolds.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
and the purple from the.
But you have the
verbena.
variegation in the colors.
Yeah, we
of the
do.
foliage,
But
which
I
is
wanna,
real important.
Yeah, but I want to get some regular colors and give the bees and the other pollinators something else to work with too. And if we intersperse the carrots in with the flowers, I think we'll get not only the harvest, but we'll attract the pollinators, we'll attract the people. And
Yeah,
this is,
you're
this
absolutely
is what
right.
catches their eye. And with all the green here and all the green in the back, with the colors in here, it should really look nice.
Okay,
And then we'll put the basala over there because it needs every bit of that space.
what is that?
The creeping spinach. It's my Audrey.
Audrey.
Yeah. Because she used to be right over
Yeah,
there.
she was going up a bit.
Yeah. Well, and she'll grow up right here too, but this time we won't put her on the edge. We'll put her straight in the middle because our problem was we didn't know how big she was going to grow, and she took over. Remember, we had her in the corner thinking we could use part of the land for eggplant and okra and tomatoes, and we ended up having to uproot everybody and move them elsewhere because she took up everything. So if we give her that whole plot, that's about the same size as what she had before, but we'll put her in the middle. And then because she's back here, she won't rob too much of the sunshine.
Sounds good to me.
Yay! Let's go see it.
The figs are great. They're not big enough to eat yet.
A couple square miles of nursery, and I used to dig it up.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for those figs to be matured.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, I was surprised. There is for a little tree.
It's figs.
See, well, the
I
reason
know.
why
I
I want
can't wait to eat one of
I
them.
don't have any figs on
That's
mine
right. I'm
yet,
gonna try
but,
making some fig Newtons.
Yeah. See, the reason why I wanted figs is because figs, you'll get a huge crop, and you can keep the tree under control. And so this won't. I mean, at the Mennonite Church in Newport News,
There was a fig tree that I swear to God was almost as tall as these telephone poles. And
Wow.
I'm like, holy cow! I've never seen.
Do you get
those
like
big.
1,000 figs off it though?
Well, no, because the birds essentially they just live in the tree and
Oh, yeah.
eat the tree.
And eat the,
Well, you have to
yeah.
put netting over
Yeah.
it if you
Okay.
But see, when you have a fig tree this size and you can keep it within and you can teach it to grow out,
Well, it's an orchard tree. It's
Yeah.
not a.
yeah, it's not
Okay.
going to. We'll be able to keep it
Yeah, I've
under
done
control.
apple, cherry, peach, plum trees. Never fig though. I've done blueberries, blackberries.
Our 2 blueberries. There are 2 raspberries that Barbara had given us that somebody has kind of walked over, but they're
Did
in
I
there
give you
somewhere. Huh?
Did I give you raspberry?
No, this one is our original raspberry, but you gave me 2 raspberries. And they're either over there or they're in here.
We put them.
In fact, they may be
There,
in here.
that's them.
Yeah, here they are.
That's what's left of them.
Make it.
No, they may. You should see how this one was.
There's one here.
Yeah, no, that's our thornless blackberry. Yeah, that may be the other one.
Yeah, because see, we tried to
I know.
space them out.
Yeah, see, this is the
And
thornless.
You can't just walk through with a lawnmower and cut
Right.
everything back.
Yeah. See, and this is the thornless blackberry. And so what we need to do is we need to fence that in and save it. Because we have to move that last blueberry over because the berries definitely like this fence section better than up front over there, right? Well, and reading up on the blueberries, I don't know right here. Yeah, we can do that. We'll put the last blueberry there. Yeah. And now that the fig has taken over and it's established, we can now plant stuff underneath the fig. So, yeah, we can plant some more marigolds, or we can plant something. Yeah, I'm glad we got to Rebecca there. So.
I'm surprised I don't have any figs.
Well, Barbara uses a rooting.
Yeah, it's cutting off.
I mean, the things about that big around at the base where we got the root.
This is our California poppy from last year. There's another one floating around here, buried under here too, but we planted them last year, and that one came back up. So
Which one?
This one.
Uh-huh.
There's another one floating around here somewhere. Not quite sure where he is. Yeah.
Where he is.
Yeah, or she is, whatever. But yeah, we've got to go and replant this because
You need some portulaca.
portulacas.
Portulacas up in the garden. In the center.
What color are they?
All colors.
Oh, okay.
They're small, and ours are growing in the concrete blocks.
Oh, okay.
They're only open during the day and closed in the evening.
Oh, okay.
They're pretty little things. They look like roses.
Yeah, and looking at the onions now that I see them, when they get brown like this is when they get, according to the onion manual. When the shoulders show, that's good because they plump up that way. That onions shouldn't be planted too deep. I think that's what our problem was with our first batch of
Yeah.
onions was we planted them too deep.
These guys look really happy.
Yeah, they are, and I even learned how to go and weave them into the little onion.
Oh, this
Onion.
looks awesome this year.
Yeah, the bush beans, they knocked them out.
Well, you know.
All right, by next year we're gonna have you on the cover of Gardening magazine.
Beans do not like being with onions. I didn't know that.
Beans
Yeah.
and
We
onions.
need to
Yeah, companion planting.
find
Yeah, I understand the
Almost
companion
our
and
fertilizer balance for the squash.
Yeah, see, and I wanted
Because the leaves are too big.
well, partly
For the-
we were going to go and put them in a trellis, but they blew up before we trellised them. Because I really want them off the ground. Oh, and I got the rebar. I bought the rebar, and Sonia Monson delivered the bamboo, and I'm going to start doing the arbor.
Okay, great. We got some stuff we're looking for you.
Yeah. Oh, good. Arbor over there, bamboo arbor.
Mr. George.
And then if I go and put a nice tomato
How are you doing?
or something, I want to list
I'm
myself,
doing
but-
wonderful.
No, it can grow. It can grow into trellis thing. Yeah, and you know the thing is, if we put scarlet runner beans, they'll be really pretty.
Okay, what's the deal with the potatoes now?
Oh, see how big these
why?
big potatoes are?
Yes.
Yeah. The majority of these big potatoes came from the potato hills. What you do is you plant the potatoes, and then as the greens grow, you go and hill them up with more compost and dirt. And it's in that hill.
Love you. We're gone.
We'll see you later. Yeah, we got.
You want some potatoes?
We already have some.
Oh, okay.
That's a bag. for
Oh,
you if anyone
okay.
needs it.
Thanks. It's in those hills that the bigger potatoes grow.
Okay.
So that's why, I'm glad that you guys are getting
I never
potatoes
noticed
out
that
of
when I
those.
grew them.
Well, because you probably don't hill them.
Yeah, I pitchfork more than you myself.
See,
So.
and what we do is the potatoes, once they grow to be big enough to be identified as potatoes, and maybe about 6 inches or maybe almost a foot, you start covering them up all the way
So you
up
just
to
mound up
yeah. You
on
just
them.
keep as they grow higher. You just keep mounding. The more you mound, the more potatoes you grow.
So the potatoes grow upwards then.
Yeah, well, they actually grow outwards.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's why if you look, a lot of the bigger potatoes have got pitchfork marks because
Yeah.
yours truly.
I did the same thing.
Yeah, and so the bigger potatoes, as I said, were close to the surface. The smaller potatoes are the ones that were, growing down. And had we left them in the ground, those smaller potatoes would have plumped up. So
Yeah.
we'll keep those little potatoes
For
and
starters, yeah. Because the bigger ones, when I did it, I would cut them into 3 wedges, like to get 3
Right.
starters out of them.
Yeah, and see,
Or
this
that
is a
one.
seed potato.
Yeah.
And if you
I would
feel it,
I would
it's
cut
still
that
hard.
in 2 myself.
Right, it's still hard. So we can probably still start potatoes with that.
Well, it'd be neat. There's this company in Idaho. I don't remember the name, but they sell over 700 different potato species. And I remember looking. They got blue potatoes, purple, orange, green, yellow. It would be awesome to get like a dozen starter seeds of every color.
Well, it isn't
'Cause
so
that would
much
be
the
unique.
color as so much as the heirloom potatoes, because each
Okay.
what had happened, just like with the corn, the maize, the Native Americans had designed and had grown these potatoes and the corn to go and accommodate the location, the elevation, the soil and the temperature and everything. So if you need high altitude potatoes, they had a specific, species that did
True.
best in high altitude. If you needed potatoes grown in the colder months, they had those. What's happening is the genetically modified varieties are taking over for standardized potatoes, so that when you go into McDonald's and Burger King, you'll be able to go and get a standard size fry. Well,
Yeah,
that's
pretty sad,
Or
ain't it?
potato chips, Lay's potato chips. Pringles is not a potato chip. It's
No.
a potato product.
Yeah, potato
But
paste
nothing,
pressed.
yeah, nothing fits so comfortably in a tin can like that.
Exactly.
And so that's what's happened to our corn and our potatoes, is the uniqueness of the varieties are being bred out and genetically modified out. And it's also that the major food companies can have a standardized product, just like standardized chicken. We're losing a lot of the millennia's worth of genetic modification that had occurred naturally through
Over
evolution.
the last 50 years.
And we're modifying out the nutrients in our vegetative products. We're modifying out all of the necessary things that keep us healthy. And so, why do we have more ADD people? Why do we have more type 2 diabetes? You've
Why
got
do we
to-
have more asthma?
Yeah.
Why do we have COPD in kids
Right.
that never
and
smoke?
the reality is, if you go back into our diet or the diets that our mothers had when they were pregnant with us, possibly you'll find that they were starting to eat the processed sugars, the processed salts, and that's what's modifying not just our metabolism, but also our brain matter. And they know that our brains can be modified.
Yes, they do.
And garbage in, garbage out isn't true just for computers. It's definitely true for people.
I
And-
agree.
Yeah, and
Totally
so
agree.
Americans are known for their obesity.
Yes.
And let me tell you, it's because we eat junk food and we have exported junk food to the world. And if people in the world should hate us, they shouldn't hate us because of our war machine. They should hate us for our economic corporatization of food.
Yes, you're correct.
But anyway, that's just me.
Well, my little add-in, I'll send you my videos I did the other day when you and George came out. But one thing that people don't realize, they want this convenience of having cucumbers and watermelon without seeds.
Right.
That's a non-viable thing.
Right.
They're genetically engineering it so that way every year you have to go to them to get the seeds. So for that convenience of not getting a watermelon seed stuck in your teeth, you're giving away your right of self-sustainability
Well,
and
not
all
just
kinds.
our right. This is where humans have a very bad attitude in interspecies. I mean, we're taking away the plant's right to reproduce.
Yes,
And
yes.
that's where it's even worse, because most people would say that's too la-la and that's too, on beyond New Age. But the reality is, it's nature, it's natural, it's something that
Exactly.
should have happened. And when you take that away, plants fight back, animals fight back, just like anybody else. We just don't know how they do it.
Nature will find
so
a way.
What is happening is, what do the plants care if we get obese and die very early because of type 2 diabetes? They don't care.
Well, it would benefit
Eventually,
them, I
they
think.
know that they will go and genetically alter themselves in generations that are shorter than ours. They'll be able to flush out any of the bad things we put into them, or else they'll become Franken plants and they'll evolve out and they'll carry on. With us, we want to be healthy because we think that we are the only important things. Well, we're going to find out that the health of our so-called minds and bodies is only temporal. That we're doing it for our very selfish generation, but for the generations to come, we've altered their reality already. And that's something that, we're all going to be judged on, whether rightfully or wrongfully. The generations to come will make up their own minds. They won't listen to us. I mean, that's the thing that people are just going to have to understand. And, me, I made up my mind that I thought gardening and botanicals and understanding how to get back not just to nature, but commune with it in a sense, and not do horrible things to it. And if I'm kind to them, they'll be kind to me. And I can in turn be kind to my species, who hopefully will be kind to their species, right? And we'll all get along together in in a nice biosphere, which is what we are. We're on a finite planet with finite resources. And right now, I think all of the other species, plant and animal life, is looking at a human being as lower than dirt, because we are the true viruses
Can't argue that.
But anyway, I'm happy with my potatoes because they're nice, and we'll probably pick some carrots and some onions. I don't know if you saw the onions.
I saw somebody picked
Yeah,
one.
I picked it.
Did you? I didn't remember who picked it.
And see, nice onions. These that are coming out by their shoulders. When they start browning, they'll be ready to really get picked. See, nice round
Yeah, I was
ones.
gonna say that one
See,
looks nice.
This one was just about sitting out there. When they're just sitting out there, they're ready to be picked. You don't even
What
have
are you
to
gonna
pick
do
them.
with the stuff that you're picking it now, though?
Well, these are going to go to Union Mission
Oh,
and
okay.
to Catholic Worker, and you know, some of them like earlier today when we had some people stop by at the garden to ask for some collards because they saw our collards.
Yeah, I
We
was
just
thought, that's
gave
why I
them.
said.
Yeah, we just gave them a small bag of collards to help them on their way, and asked them to support the farm market because without the farm market,
Yeah, I
we
know.
would be up to creek.
That I agree with. It does make life.
See, because like when you have beets like this, even though they're small, see how they're ridged, they'll get tough. So you need to go and pick these regardless. See, like these, they're small, but they'll get really tough. And so,
Yeah, I never liked beets myself.
but
There's a
see,
big
this
clump.
is a nice plump red beet. This one's a good looking one. And well, the beets will be finished in a
Is
little
this
while.
purple cabbage here?
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was. I never grew it. I've just grown this. One year, I had so many weeds growing in one part of the garden. I went out there in February and tripped over it, and I thought it was like a brick I tripped on. I start digging down, and there's 4 heads of cabbage that were like the size of a basketball, literally.
See, here's
So,
a nice.
Yeah, that's
This
an
is
awesome looking one.
Yeah, that's a nicely shaped beet.
See, this one looks pretty ready here.
Yeah.
Rutabagas.
Hey Joe, look at these
Look at what?
beets.
The beets.
Aren't they really beautiful?
They're beautiful.
I picked a couple of onion heads
Very
too.
nice.
Yeah.
All the beets we picked last week were all like shriveled and split open.
Yeah, I
What's
know,
the
and that's what I was just telling Rich is that we want to make sure that we pick those so that because they're not going to go anywhere
What?
once they're shriveled
The
up like
food
that.
that goes
they
to
need
like the food that goes to the non-profits, do they come and pick it up or?
No, we drop it off.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Most of the time we, because Catholic Worker is easiest for us because of the timing element. Food Not Bombs generally has a Sunday delivery, so if one of our gardeners is working on a Sunday or they work with Nick at the Get Fresh Cafe at the farm market, they'll coordinate for the Sunday. But on Mondays, because we're here, we generally deliver to Catholic Worker
Huh?
because we can just drop off the vegetables. So, wow, this is nice.
Mr. George diligently weeding away. I know, don't you just love that creeping crud?
I know.
I know, I got it all in my landscaping box. I can't even keep up with it at my house. I've been out there a few times for a couple hours. Yeah, I probably shouldn't kill myself.
These are all onions.
Are they? They don't look.
There might be. See, that guy might
See,
be a leak.
these look like
That
leeks.
might be a leak. That might
These
be a
are,
leak.
yeah, these look like leeks because Now that's
Yeah,
an
they
onion.
do.
That's a yellow onion.
Right.
But see, all these that look like
Who's our recipient this afternoon?
I'm thinking if we know where to go and drop off for Union Mission, we can drop some of it and then some of it over to Catholic Worker. Unfortunately, Food Not Bombs, their collection is on Sunday, and so
Yeah.
we're too early for them.
And they don't have any refrigeration.
No.
All right,
No,
well,
they have a refrigerator in the church, but that's only if someone's available to let us in.
all right. Well, I'll tell you what. Then let's go ahead and let's think along these lines. Let's get a.
Oh,
let's
and
get one of those
broccoli.
big-
See
get
the
one of
broccoli
Richard's
heads?
Big blue square SIPSA buckets over there.
Yeah, that's where I've been putting all the potatoes and the onions and the.
All right. Well, what we'll do is I'll do a delivery to Union Mission.
Oh, okay. We'll split them then.
And so break out. Eric, if you would please get another one of blue buckets. And
Okay.
Otsko, you split out the
Okay.
potatoes that you want to go to Union Mission and what you
Okay.
want to keep for Catholic Worker.
Okay.
And I'm going to keep on doing some
What?
rutabagas.
Oh, that's
these
a
are
that's a
rutabagas.
rutabaga. That's
Whoops.
Look at that.
We told them
That
they were
was my
collards,
next
and guess what?
question.
They're eating them.
it's about the same.
It's
I
okay.
think they're
That green,
collards,
that
too.
green looks good to me.
Yeah.
That green looks
Yeah.
good to
Yeah,
me.
they're going to eat them. They're happy.
Yes, when I make egg rolls, I put turnip greens, mustard
No,
greens.
you know what? These are all cabbages and broccoli.
That's know what grows pretty easy? That Napa cabbage. I love that. I think that's way better than the American cabbage. So that is a rutabaga.
That's a rutabaga.
And those, and
That's a rutabaga. Are you shooting any of that?
yeah,
You're filming?
All right.
All right.
yes sir.
Okay. So what I'm doing here, so you know, Richard, is I'm pulling off every other one to give them a little bit more.
These would be nice leaves to make like a stuffed cabbage with.
I think you're right. I think it would be just.
I ain't got no chop meat.
And you what?
I ain't got no chop meat to make any though.
Wow.
Now, what about that?
Honestly, that's where I can work dough. Cook it.
But I think that those greens are beautiful, and those greens ought to go into a stew or a salad.
So we got
or
rutabagas,
somehow be used.
Yeah, beets,
beets,
red
red
onions.
onions, white onions, and a bunch of white potatoes and a few little red potatoes.
Right.
I know the red potatoes are awesome. I love those.
So, oh, and you know what? Because this thing is just growing into.
This is a nice photo shoot right there, Otsko.
Yeah, I know.
Richard,
Yeah, I just got it.
that's nice composition.
See this thing? It's a cabbage, but I think I'm gonna cut it. Even though see all these broccolis, they have to come. They have to be cut because they're bolting
Yeah,
already.
the bolt. I know. Oh yeah.
So
I know. I wish I had some of that veggie dipping sauce. You turn around and be like, "Where'd all the broccoli go?"
see,
Well, that's still edible.
yeah, and I'm gonna put the
It made
on.
worse. I mean, I don't think it's so bad when it goes half flour. Here's a nice one. I know. I put my knife back out in the car there, and that one has to be cut because that one's starting to bolt too. But yeah, that one's sweet. And there's a little mini one
Yeah,
here.
that one can grow a little more.
Yeah, that's true. It is
Oh, but
bold.
that one over there, I'll get that one. I'll probably get this one too. I think we cut this one before.
That's amazing how there's just that big water drop on it like that, though.
broccolini, you know, is very big.
Here, George.
Yo,
Another big
Look what
piece
we're
of
getting
grass.
out of soil. It's got all this trash in it. and wait till we get lots of stuff through the baby.
Yeah. Look at these, George.
Oh, wow.
This one could use like 2 days probably.
Yeah, it needs to.
Yeah,
Go
I think
just a
2,
little
maybe
bigger.
3 days.
You know, we had done it with peppers. We could actually take that broccoli and put it in the pasta salad.
You know, you
this
could
time,
use
know?
you could eat the broccoli leaf in like soup and that too.
Yeah.
I used to
Oh,
put
yeah,
the
it's
leaves
called
from almost
broccolini.
everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't eat it plain. I'm not a big collard green fan, but
Yeah. And see, and some of these are cabbage.
You could probably put it in something. Probably vinegar would be the first thing.
yeah, some vinegar, salad dressing. Put anything. Yeah.
And some of
I like
these
some of those weird
broccolis
ones, like
are-
that creamy Parmesan.
Yeah, I think that's...
Yeah.
Or I like real bacon bits. I can't stand those fake ones, but real bacon bits, a little cheese with some ranch dressing, that would be awesome. I like blue cheese dressing too. I like a lot of different ones.
Maybe, I think we should 40-60 and give 40 to Catholic Worker and the majority to Union Mission.
Okay, Brian Stump just gave us in perpetuity storage for...
Oh, good. That's what I
Or-
kind of figured.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a sweetie.
he is. He is. All right.
So I'm going to pick the last of these, even though they're probably there. I don't think we're going to throw anymore.
The red salad bowl.
Yeah.
Here, take this, Otsko. Here, let me help you. Here.
No.
Good?
Yeah, because I've got a knife if I need it.
Okay, all right.
And these just need to be just plowed under.
All right, do we want to take...
What's
any
that?
onions? You wanna take
This
it?
is red leaf lettuce.
Oh, they're
Do
just
we want to take
small.
any
Yeah.
onions to...
Yeah,
Union
we've got white onions and those 2 red ones. Hi, how are
Hey,
you?
Randy. All right.
Thank you for working with Joe. That trommel looks wonderful.
What are those there? Rutabagas?
Rutabagas.
Rutabagas.
Yeah.
Potatoes, onions, beets.
Do we need a photo op?
Okay,
We can
Actually,
turn
we
this.
need a meat tasting it off.
Yeah, because we can put them on here like.
I know there are so many kinds of lettuce.
Just put that one over
It's
there.
amazing.
right now.
That's actually good.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Too bad there wasn't more of that.
I've got to go with Randy. I
Okay.
got to break out of here. So
All right.
it just leave me one of these guys, whatever, and I'll see that it gets to
Union Mission?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, they could wrestle over who gets the little bit of lettuce. Oh,
See, that's
man. Oh, it does taste good though.
Okay.
Okay, where's a little broccoli? There's a little one.
We want some really nice.
Oh, good. Try a little piece of that.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, sir.
And just labeled as only some.
Yeah,
gotta
that,
go with
that
Randy. I'll be
broccoli
back in a little
tastes
bit.
awesome. So you're breaking it up into 2 groups now.
Yeah. But for right now, this is a photo op. Just
Yeah, let me take a few.
So basically the construction of a seed bomb, from my experience with it, has been you get a little bit in your palm about the size of a lemon and you kind of flatten it out and then you put it on a hard surface. So once we've got a bunch of little like pancakes, we then very carefully put our seeds in them. Not a whole bunch, because if they do germinate, cross your fingers hopefully, then we don't want them to crowd each other out. So just, a few seeds, 2 to 3 different kinds of seeds, and that's basically it. So now we're going to choose what seeds we want for our seed bombs. And here's my idea. We want 2 different kinds of seed bombs. The first kind, and then more of our flower kind of seed bombs. So let me get this.
And the medium that we're using is a mixture of clay and compost, right?
Yeah, it's just it's loose, well-draining compost stuff mixed with clay. The clay helps to get it sticky and bond together so that when it dries in the ball, it doesn't just crumble apart. So I guess we pick what kind of seeds we want, 2 or 3 different kinds for our seed bomb. So yay, group decision time, democracy. So I was thinking.
Ooh, I like nasturtium.
Mysterium, that's good for something.
Because this
some
is
kind of
also very
bugs.
good for keeping
Bugs
nasty
away.
stuff.
Yeah,
Is it? Moonflower looks like a good white flower.
yeah, that does look cool.
Sunflowers in the middle.
Be warned, we have
Look at
be
this,
warned,
a
we
red
have
sunflower.
we have a breeze blowing these things away, so just be mindful.
But this is a red dwarf.
Marigolds.
Okay, the yellow ones are taller.
Yeah, I never saw a red dwarf sunflower before.
Oh, I'm gonna. Do you think marigolds and nasturtiums, or is that just?
Those are good to keep pests away.
Oh my god, basil. Maybe something's wrong.
Yeah.
Dianthus.
Oh, echinacea.
So I was thinking,
It's okay.
you're on seed catching duty if any of these things blow away, cameraman Richard. I was thinking of this. The foxgloves are tall. The portulaca is a succulent ground cover that can withstand the heat, and the morning glories could climb up the foxglove. So, but whatever the group consensus in, because I was hoping to have some uniformity. So if this isn't good, then whatever.
Yeah, we can go with that.
No, we'll go with that.
Because we'll
Yeah, that sounds good.
Because we'll have a huge batch of like one uniform product.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I was thinking. So.
Oh, that'll be fine. I'm just looking at the colors.
Help me find the other foxglove, because this is the old pack that's starting to get really empty. And these seeds are so delicate. There was another one. There it is.
There it is. All right. Starting off with very simple.
Yeah, and I'm kind of worried about using the sunflowers just because they're so water delicate when they're young. You need to really kind of baby them.
Okay.
All right, so
We just grabbed some.
yeah, it's about that size, just enough that you can kind of fit it in the palm of your hand. Kind of
Mine are going to be little ones.
kind of
Little bomblets.
a little bit wetter than I'd like, so yeah. And careful not to pat it down too much,
Oh,
then we
won't be able to get it up.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
thank you. What we want is it just a patty like that, so when we put our seeds, we can carefully collect it up and fold it in like
Okay.
that,
Oh, I
like that. So if you do that,
Right.
then you've got a problem kind of
We're not
trying,
making bread.
trying to peel it up. You've got a problem trying to peel it up. So.
Oh yeah, we get the idea.
Okay. So next
Not
time what we
making
need
bread.
to do is
So we're gonna get
we need plastic.
we're gonna get a whole collection of little patties together, and hopefully we're gonna wash our hands in the water right there, and then
Right.
we'll assemble our seeds.
Okay. As I said, mine are going to be little bomblets.
I'm making mine a bit bigger because I plan on chucking them, and I want the weight to carry them. So that's my thinking.
That is true.
Mine are going to be artistic. I'm going to make them into swans and little doves.
Yeah, he's gonna look like a duck, right?
It's a little big.
Yeah, kind of like silver dollar pancakes.
People are starting to get hungry again. I can tell.
See, Rich had the big kind of purpose. Got the idea in my head.
Oh, that's right. Poor Eric only had coffee. We need to go and get these seed bombs done so that we can take a break.
I know, I'm kind of enjoying the exhaustion high. It puts you in a good state of mind. Well, it puts me in a good state of mind somehow. I don't need weed, I just need to not sleep and not eat.
There you go.
Sleep? What's that?
I know, right?
That's something that I have not seen for a while. Or if I have, I've been so asleep that I didn't know it.
Alright, so, and the foxglove seeds that we agreed on, they are very tiny and very delicate.